happened there. Just phone turned off for some odd reason. Very bizarre. What's going on here? Oh dear. Can't seem to find the stream now. I'm live, but can't seem to find the stream. What the hell's going on here? I'm on stream and I can't find it, so I don't know who's talking and who's chatting or anything. It says I'm live. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, Tommy. My phone switched off for some reason. That were odd. I don't know why. It was nothing to do with network. My phone, well, it hadn't turned off, but the YouTube had gone off for some reason. I don't know why. Very odd. It's happened before that, only once. It's only the second time it's ever happened that. It just went off for some peculiar reason. Wasn't a network issue. Hello, Arturo Moroni. How are we doing? Hello again, Fire Spirits. Yeah, my phone, just YouTube cut off on my phone for some odd reason. Very strange. I couldn't even find the stream on my iPad. I've got it here on my phone, but I couldn't even find it on my iPad for some weird reason. I hope it doesn't do that again. I hope we're not got a problem or. Yeah, very strange. Just keep my eye on that. Aliens, yeah, could be. Certainly strange. That is for sure. Hello, HRH the Prince. How we doing? Where's my singer today? Where is she? Where's she hiding? She's in fridge. Yes, I'm fine, thanks. Back again, Bria. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. For some reason, YouTube just turned off on my phone. It weren't a network issue. It was me actually. I looked up at when Tommy said, "Oh, you're buffering." I looked up at my phone screen that's bolted to the fence, and it was just blank. For some reason, YouTube had gone off. The app had dropped. sort of thing. Thank you, HRH. Nice image. Yep. I've got a cordless trimmer at home. I might just bring it with me one day and hack some of this bush down that's at the bottom of the camera, because it annoys me. See, when I normally I'd have gone further up the fence, but the sunlight interferes when you go further up the fence, so I have to put it on this angle here, you know. Well, let's see what action there is. There's definitely a heritage diesel coming today, I can tell you that much for note. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out. I've seen it on the well, there's a freight train in 2 minutes, and there's definitely a heritage diesel. I've seen it listed, but it's not until it's not till 3:30 that. Going to Carnforth Steamtown. Anyway, where were the tyres? I've had spent 2 hours getting a week off streams out of such outrageous issue. Yeah. Well, they're not cheap, Tommy. My God, are they? They're no fun. That's the only problem with 4-wheel drives. Tyres are dearer. Certainly aren't on BMW 4-wheel drives anyway. Next car I fancy an electric car next. I think for me an electric car would suit me down to the ground. Hello Jeanette, how are we doing? Yeah, I think an electric car would suit me. You know, I'm only A to B and back to A. Because at the moment I'm spending about 80 quid a week on fuel. Yeah. A bit inconvenient that yesterday. I mean, I weren't really that bothered. If I'd have had to pull over, the tyre was not drivable at all, I'd have just rung AA up and said, come on fix my tyre. Come and swap my wheel. You can't mess around it but dark on my hands and knees trying to get the wheel off, you've no chance. Not when I pay for paying £40 a month for AA, all in all everything, so I flipping no chance. And I got them to come and swap it. I'd have sat there with feet up. Hello, Demetrius Aston, how are we doing? No fear. I wouldn't have been getting my hands dirty, that's for sure. Hello, Max Ambrose, how are we doing? Welcome back. Hello, William Finley, how are we doing? I don't know where this freight train is, but there's one definitely due. It's a glorious afternoon, but bloody hell, it's cold. I've seen 3788 points today at Mosh Line. Excellent. Today we are at beautiful weather indeed. It is beautiful visually, but God, it's cold. It's cold for sure, HRH. Yeah. It was frosty this morning when I went out to bins about, what time was it? 10:15, and there were frost on the roofs and everything where the sun hadn't hit. I don't know where this flipping freight train is. We're due at 3 minutes past. An E-type Jag would suit a distinguished. Yeah, I don't like them, Tommy. I'd love a Jag, but it'd have to be the oh, what's it called? I can't think what it's called because I did go and look at one. I went to actually look at one. Oh God, what's it called? It's not the XF. It's not the XJ. I forgot what it is. Can't remember what it's called. And it's I love them, but I just can't think what model it is. The same as what Bill's got. I don't know if you've seen Bill, guy playing with tools. The same model as what he's got, and I can't think what it's called. It's not an XJ. XK it is. A Jaguar XK. I'd like one of them. The only downside is they're a bit low to the floor, which doesn't suit me. But I don't intend on being a flipping hop-along Cassidy for whatever. You know what I mean? All the Jags are comfy. It's just getting in and out of them that's the discomfort. I think we've got a freight train here now, I'm reckoning. No, we haven't. It's Transpennine. That's 397. Oh, it's on the slow line, the freight train. So it's going to come up and stop at the signal and get redirected back onto the fast line, I think. So beautiful seeing the trains. Just trying to see what this freight train's doing. It's on the slow line. I think it's going to get. I think it's waiting for a signal. I presume. It's a class 66, as always. I think. Might not be actually. Just zooming in on it with my other camera, see what I can see what it is. It's coming slow, whatever it is. Yeah, just a class 66. There we go. The old Class 66. Going very slowly because it's crossing all them points. Back onto the faster track. When new tyres went up to 55 quid, I bought second hand tyres and bought them from Germany for 25, yeah. Hello Stuart, how we doing? Hello Rich Butler, how we doing? Yeah. I can remember when I was 17, Tommy, I used to put remolds on. They don't even do remolds anymore. Not allowed. Been on a class 150 today. That must have been a scintillating journey, Stuart. They're bloody awful, aren't they? I'm amazed they haven't shelved the. Yeah, I used to put remolds on all the time when I was 18, 19, you know what I mean? They used to do alright. They don't even do them now. Another trip later. Can't even buy remolds now. I had a Cavalier once and I took it for MOT and it had one tyre that were right close to legal limit. So I jacked it up and just went through tread lines with a grinder just to give it an extra half a mil. It passed. Just flicked a grinder where tread lines were, near wear indicators, and I just put a little bit of extra tread on with a grinder. Them were the days. I mean, wagons and buses, they used to recut the tyres, put new tread in them. They don't do that now. Not allowed. Anti-garages there must be with tyre retreading machines now that they can't use. Stopped in the motorway service on a gallon of Castrol. You take 62 quid, yeah, I can believe it. Oil's so expensive now, especially now with these certain engines. You can't just bung anything in. You've got to bunk rate stuff in, and it's got to be a certain sort. It's like this car I have. I can't just put normal run-of-the-mill whatever it is. It's got to be the flipping fully synthetic 10 flipping 15s or whatever the hell it is. It's like, honestly, it's like water. It is the new oil. Got to put that in, and that's. I don't think that's much change. I had a 50 quid for a gallon. You know what I mean? They're making engines so high tech now that your average run-of-the-mill oil's no good. Bungs them up. I can't. I even have to put special water in radiator. I can't put normal water in the radiator. Sorry, antifreeze. It's special antifreeze. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fully synthetic. I think it's less than 530. I think it's thinner than 5. I'd have to look in boot because I've got a tub in boot, but I think it's less than 5. It might be 530. It might be less. I know it's like tap water. I know that much. And even the antifreeze you put in has to be a special stuff. It's a joke. Yeah, you're right, Tommy. It is. It's 5:30. No, it's not. Well, 5:30 will do, but it recommends 0:30 on according to their flipping website. But can't remember what that is. I've got it booked. Yeah, everything's a scam. I mean, I put the expensive fuel in, but I do get more miles out of it. There's no doubt about it. I've been monitoring it for months, and if I put the higher octane in, which is about 10p a gallon more, I do get more miles. There's no doubt about it. I do definitely get more miles out of it. Plus, it's better for your engine, so they say. They say you should. They say you should, at minimum, once every 3 fill-ups, put the higher octane in. You know, to clean your valve seats and everything. But I run it on it all the time. Correct. Correct. That's right. That Rich. I had a Cortina and cam belt snapped on it, and I changed it just outside the shop that I bought the cam belt from. It were it were only on tick over as well, and it just stopped and cam belt snapped. And on a Cortina cam belt were right at front. You could literally stretch the bloody thing on. You know what I mean? There were no covers, no removing stuff or anything. All you had to do were slacken, slacken water pump off for a couple of odds and sods, and you were good to go. You know what I mean? And there were markers there and everything, so you couldn't mistime it or anything. There were big pins stuck out at top, and there were pin on bottom pulley, so you couldn't put it back on out of time. And I changed it outside shop where I bought the timing belt from. And the timing belt cost me about less than a tenner, and I changed it in half an hour because there was only a tin cover on front of a Cortina that covered it. And I changed clutch on it, oh, loads of times. But it's like you say, it were a DOS job. It were easy. Bell housing off, prop shaft off gearbox, and away you went. No messing. Just a cable going to flipping clutch and all. No hydraulic rubbish. Oh, it definitely makes my fuel economy is definitely better on the more expensive fuel. Because I noticed not every petrol station sells the expensive higher octane, and I can tell the difference if I get caught at one of them petrol stations that sells the cheaper stuff. I can tell the drop in mileage. It's not a massive amount, but it's over 80 quid's worth. You notice it, yeah. I remember changing gearbox, and it was New Year's Eve, and it was chucking it down with rain on a Capri, and I changed gearbox and clutch. Well, I was actually changing the gearbox, but I did clutch at the same time. It would be stupid not to. You know, it'd be like changing your undies without wiping your backside. If you take a gearbox off, you might as well do clutch at the same time. So I changed them, and I put it all back together, drove off, bang, 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 bang. I thought, what the hell is that? Pulled up, looked underneath, everything tight, everything solid as a rock. I thought, what the hell is this? Bang, 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 bang. Every time you drove off, bang, 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 bang. Quite a loud bang it were. When I say bang, I don't mean as in sound bang. It were like a bump on bottom of the car. It was like somebody hitting bottom of the car with an hammer while you were driving. And it had me baffled, it did. So at the time, I mean, I was only about 19, so I took it to my brother's workshop, Works, where he worked, engineering place, because I thought I'm going to have to fettle this, and I thought I'm not messing with it, it didn't rain. So I drove it right slowly to work, to the workshop, and doing it dry. Anyway, we were there anywhere, my brother, just by chance, and I says, just get in that and have a do. And he drove it right car park, and it were bum, and and he knew straight away what it were, and I thought, what? He says, I know what that is. And we jacked it up. In fact, we actually put forks of a stacker underneath it and lifted it quite a bit up. And you know what he did? Anybody, go on, I'll let somebody answer it, chat. Do you know what he did? Anybody free to have an answer before I say what he did? I couldn't believe it, mate. Couldn't believe it. Anybody got an answer? Rich, can you think of a job? Think what it could be? It had me baffled. Having a kip. Hello, Horace Crispies, how are we doing? It's something with a hammer, no. No. Did I leave? No. He went underneath and he messed about with a spanner and stuff and did something and come back out. And he says, right, try it now. And drove right car park, perfect. I said to him, what have you done? He said, I just turned prop shaft quarter of a turn. He said, did you not mark it, prop shaft, when you took it off? I said, well, it's a different gearbox. He said, well, they're balanced, he says. He says, if you've not put it back right, he says, it'll knock like hell. He says, they've got weights on them. He says, so you just, if they knock, just turn them quarter of a turn. You know what I mean? Off the where they attach, and they don't vibrate then, because there's a central, like, bearing in the middle, because the rear wheel drive. And he says, you've obviously put it back in a different position that it were never originally balanced in. But I said, it's a different gearbox. He says, it doesn't matter. It says you need to put it back in correct position, you know, and I never knew that. And sure enough, it were right as rain after that. And I'd never come across that before in my life. In fact, I've never come across it since, but I don't think I've changed the gearbox since. And that's all he did, turn prop shaft quarter of a turn. You know what I mean? Undid it and rotated it and put it back on again, which I thought was bizarre. See you later, Stuart. And it's true, they do have weights on them. You know, they do have weights along the prop shaft, but I still couldn't understand the logic on it because it was a different gearbox. But he says they're all balanced, you know. And he says if it's got a different gearbox on, he says it doesn't like it, so just try a quarter of a turn. And bloody hell, it did it. It cured it. I was amazed. I thought, well, that's the difference between being a qualified engineering person and somebody like me who's not qualified. I'd have never thought to try that. Man, it wasn't even my car. That was the most annoying thing about it. It weren't my car. So I knew I had to get it right because otherwise I looked like a village idiot. Back in them days, you used to do everything yourself, change engines, gearboxes, and everything. Nowadays, you can't denote with your car now. You open bonnet and there's just a big sheet of plastic. Can't denote to them nowadays. And there we go. Don't know where Sanger is today. Probably busy with the house, yeah. True, yeah. For sure. There's a guy here on a Harley Davidson mobility scooter. I'll send you a photo, Jeanette, when he comes past. It's like an Harley Davidson. A Harley Davidson version of a mobility scooter. Never seen one of these before. The Harley Davidson, correct. No idea. It was weird, but he knew what to do straight away, my brother. He just got underneath, quarter of a turn, you know, unbolted it off gearbox and rotated it quarter of a turn, and said, try that. And sure enough, it stopped it. I thought, wow, how the hell's that work? Considering it was a different gearbox, you know what I mean? Bizarre. But it cured it, and I thought to myself, well, that's one to remember. But since then, I don't think I've ever done another one of them. It weren't my car either, so it had to be right. You know what I mean? So I looked like a fool with this girl's car. Capri 2 litre Sport it were. Yeah, like a trike, yeah. No idea. Couldn't understand it because there's a knuckle in the middle. One of them, it's like a dry bearing really. It's like a knuckle in the middle on them because the prop shafts are in two pieces. They're not a solid lump. You know what I mean? They're in two pieces. One comes off back axle to middle knuckle, and then another one slides into there, up to the gearbox. You know. It's almost like a CV joint, that knuckle. It allows for the movement on the back axle, you know, when you hit the bumps and stuff. So I don't know, but anyway, it cured it. It is a heavy duty mobility scooter, yeah. Even had a back box on it. It had a big chrome headlight up front, because at first I thought, Christ, what's this? Somebody coming on a Harley with no helmet on. Harvey Spicer for suspicion. What's that mean? What time is the next train, Riley? Soon. Harvey Spicer for suspension. For suspicion, sorry. Explain, Tommy. Hello, Aussie Jace, how we doing? Like miniature train sets. Yeah, I wouldn't like them in my living room though. I think they'd fill it. Hello, Stella Aranacenta. How we doing? Arena Scent. How's it going? Hey. Hello, Noel David Lang, how we doing? What was that train? That was a Class 331. Hello, the Virgin 180. And that's Fancy West Coast Class 390 going to London Euston. London Euston. Class 331, correct. No, they're electricity. They're electric. Preston. Preston, Fernando. Preston. Preston. Pin that in the chat so anybody can see it. A very cold Preston, might I add. Put some heating on for a bit, I'm afraid. Shut up. beep, beep, beep. No, I'm not a train driver. A harvest bicer will be fitted to rear orange shaft to allow it to lengthen and shorten with load. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That's like a prop shaft that slides up and down on the splines. We use stuff like that a lot on mixers because they're hydraulically lift and go down, so they have spline shafts on them. How come? How come what, Aussie Jace? From UK City to Harbour at the Islands for Ireland. Is there any? Don't even understand. Yeah. Yep, I know what you mean, Tommy. I've just never heard of that explaining, that wording before. A harvest bicer. But we do it a lot with mixers because there's some mixers that, you know, they go at a hell of a speed and they lift up and down. Plus they pressurise some of them, and some of them are vacuumed. You know, mixing machines, a lot of them have a vacuum on them to prevent them from, prevent the product from frothing. If there's a vacuum, you can't get bubbles, you see. If you're stirring a 10,000 batch of paint, last thing you want is it bubbling over. So you pop a vacuum on it and it doesn't do it, basically. Can't have a bubble in a vacuum. Feed it, Fernando. Leave permission. What's that mean? Leave permission. You being a silly Billy? Hello, Shilpa M. How are we doing? Leave permission for what? Explain yourself immediately. Right, got you, yeah. Could be, Tommy. Could be. Yeah, Bendix on a starter, yeah. Lost a train. It's weird how you look on one diagram and it doesn't show up, and yet you can look on a diagram further down the track and the train shows up, if that makes sense. I've just checked the junction I'm at and the train that I know is coming is not showing. But if I swap and go a mile further down the track to a different junction, there it is. Weird. Got another freight train in 16 minutes. And then we got the special, which is a Rugby to Carnforth, and I do not know what that is, but it's probably going to be a ratty old Class 56 or something. I still think it's going to be anything interesting. It's just an ECS. The Pendolino has been in service nearly 2 decades, correct, and it still looks modern. That's the beauty of it. It's still a modern looking train and it's been around for nearly 20 years. Which is good. I'm just trying to find out what this rugby to Carnforth is. It's going to be bizarre. Is it not running? I'm looking for something that's not running. No, it's not even running. Forget it. Forget the rugby to Carnforth. It's down on the list, but it's not. It's supposed to set off at 1 o'clock and it hasn't. So we ain't seeing that. Anybody who getting excited about it, I'm sorry. I've just run the head code through the system and it doesn't exist. Still being a night yet. Hello, Dwayne Trivett, how we doing? Hello, Douglas Wakanda, how we doing? Grids are great, they can pull wheelies. I've not witnessed that, but I'll take your word for it. I don't see many about now, grids. Still had a couple flying about. Callers have a few, but we don't see much now. Class 70 seems to have took the place of them. On the tracks, hey ho, Avatija, aho, hey ho. On the tracks. There'll be something along soon. Seriously, I think the class 141, 141 and 151 existed. Yeah, the 141 certainly did. Sure it did. Yeah, it was a pacer, the 141. Horrible thing, it was one of the very early pacers with a triple window at front, with the aluminium studded thing around the windows that look like the windows have been put in as an afterthought. You know what I mean? During the 1980s, British Rail was interested in replacing its first generation diesel multiple units, particularly in the use of rail buses to service its lightly used branch lines. It decided to develop such a vehicle with a high level of commonality with the widely used Leyland National Bus, leading to its modular design serving as the basis for the design. Several single and two-car prototypes were constructed and evaluated before an order was placed with British Leyland for 22-car Class 4 141 units in 1984. During their operating lives, the units were tasked with various passenger services in Yorkshire for 13 years. Following withdrawal, a large proportion of the units were exported to Iran, where they are operated for a further 8 years, giving the Class 4 141 a total lifespan of 21 years. And there you go, that's the Class 141 information for you. Hello, Nick Leslie, how are we doing? I worked on a 141 and bashed my head. Excellent. Yeah, they're pretty horrible things, to be fair. You know, they were a love-hate relationship with anything. All them pacers, they were bloody awful. But they were only meant for temporary use, and yet they stuck around for yonks. We used to have pacers running through the town where I live. single bogies on, just a single axle bogie. God forbid, that must have been a bumpy ride. He had a Leyland T11 200 horsepower engine with a self-changing mechanical automatic gearbox and a final drive unit on each car driving only a single axle. This propulsion arrangement was in part taken from the Leyland National Bus, as well as shared with the earlier Class 140. The controller for the automatic transmission was observed by BR engineers to be the cause of numerous operational failures and other reliability issues. This was always found to be due to a defective relay logic and poor earthing. The issue was eventually resolved on the fleet by replacing the relay-based controller with an alternative that was microprocessor based. There you go. So you work with no, I don't work with Northern Railway, no. I think you are you asking Fire Spirit. I don't work for any railway. The last Pacer trains operated in Wales and they were retired in 2021. They're awful things, really, when all said and done. Nope, not on the rails these days, but my family worked for Northern. Excellent. Not for me. My favourite train of the My favourite, I have two favourites from the old days, as I call it, when I was a youngster, and that was the Class 40 and the Class 25. They were my favourites. They were my favourites. And when I used to have my model railway, I tried forever to get my hands on an N-gauge Class 25, but to no avail. I used to work for the RRNE in the old days. RRNE, what's that RRNE? Regional railways, right, yeah, got you. Yeah, we used to have, they were all right, sure were the regional railways. I can't used to remember what they were called that came through where I live, and I remember it was like, I think it were similar, network, something, oh god, I can't remember what it was called. They were sort of like a pale blue with a stripe on and a darker blue. And it might have been something like Network Northwest or some damn thing, I can't remember what it used to say on them. And then when Northern first, I think it was Northern that first took over, and they had the first livery were like almost like a navy blue with a gold star on the side. It looked a bit ridiculous. I'm sure that were Northern. It ran from Manchester to Clitheroe. Well, it used to be Manchester, Victoria to Blackburn. The Clitheroe line were closed when I was young. It's only since I got older that the line from Blackburn to Clitheroe reopened for passenger. I mean, it's always been open, but freight only, freight and specials, and then they extended its passenger service to Clitheroe. So I have a photograph somewhere of one of them blue Class 150s going over Whalley Arches with the gold star on the side. I used to love it when it were British Rail, me. Used to get on a DMU to Manchester and you could sit right in front seat and you had the same view as what the driver had. It was brilliant. Superb. Super duper. I used to get train to Manchester and you could sit right behind the driver and you go through Soft Tunnel. Yeah, class 331, correct. Used to go through Soft Tunnel back in there. Proper what I call proper DMUs before they got them nasty paces. Hello, Aussie JS. How are we doing? What was that train? That was a class 397 Transpennine Express. I think, to be honest with you, I didn't take much notice of it, but I'm pretty sure it was. It was definitely Transpennine. So I'm pretty confident it was a 397. I can tell it was noisy, with noise because the 802s are a bit quieter. And there's another class 397. That one's going to Manchester Airport, the one that's just gone past there. Manchester Airport, and it's come from, I'll tell you in a second, what time is it? 14:55. It's that's come from Edinburgh, that one. Edinburgh to Manchester Airport, and this one here is going to that one's going to Liverpool Lime Street, that. Hello Velux, I'm Indian. Excellent. Hello Kathleen Salada. lights. I don't call it train spotting, I call it videoing trains. Train spotting's when you record the numbers and everything and put it in a book and all that. Well, I don't do any of that. I ain't that interested. Used to do it when I was a kid, but not nowadays. Just video them. And soon we'll be getting another freight train in 4 minutes. 4 minutes, I reckon. Don't know what it'll be. Maybe possibly because there's no room in the carriage, I don't know. I would think it's because there's a lack of room inside the carriage. I mean, you'd struggle to do it in this country because you get frazzled on the electric wires. I don't want 25,000 volts going through me. That's strange. That train that went past that Transpennine has got held at a signal for some reason. That's dead unusual, is that, for a Transpennine? Here comes the freight train. Yep, class 66. I wonder how long before 99's in traffic. Well, they'll have to buy some first. There's only 2 at the moment, isn't there? And they haven't even seen any 93's in traffic yet. A short time ago. You really should be able to work that out just by looking how many minutes this stream's been running for. I can't see it on my screen, so I don't know. But it will say somewhere at the bottom of the screen how long it's been running for, this stream. Doesn't tell me, even though it's my stream. I can't actually see that information. I can see If I were looking at me the bit that's filming it, I would, but that's about 15 foot away from me, bolted to a fence, so I can't see it. (3:01 p.m.) What's that? What time you got there? Oh, for some reason the Class 397 has no buffer bar on board. Your live is ASMR for me. Excellent. Thank you, Daman Kumar Shanda. Oh, I thought she was asking me what time did I get here. It's nice weather. It's visually nice weather, but it's flipping cold. And I mean cold. I can't tell you temperature because peaceful and silent. I can't tell you temperature because it's. I could look on my phone, but phone temperature is rubbish. You know what I mean? It's inaccurate. Is the phone temperature? The only the only correct temperature is actually a thermometer that's outside. If you look on your phone, it comes from flipping a firm called AccuWeather, which are based in California. So God only knows how they're going to know. Hello, Russian person. How are we doing? Hello, catalytic converters. How are we doing? Going to be a frosty one. Last night, I went out to my bin this morning at 10:15, and there were frost on the roofs and everything where the sun weren't shining. They were all full of frost. It's always cold in England. No, it's, to be fair, this summer we've had a good summer in this country this year. Yeah, that's if it's on your phone, Jeanette. You can guess there'll be a couple of degrees out one way or another. I don't know because phone temperature's not the real temperature. It's just what they feel it's going to be. I can't even tell you off my car's thermometer because I've been parked up, and with the heat of the engine, it's made it warmer than it is. It says 12 degrees on my car thermometer at the moment, which is absolute nonsense. It's nowhere near 12 degrees. It feels like it's about 6 or 7 to me. But until I actually move the car and drive it, I can't get an accurate reading because when you're parked up, it's the engine heat that dissipates goes on the probe that picks up the temperature. Here comes a Pendolino. Hello, Zafar Igashuv, Gashev. How we doing? A very slow Pendolino, you're right there. It's approaching a double yellow, so it's slowed down. A double yellow signal, and it's a solid double yellow. It's not flashing, so what it'll be, it's caught up with the Transpennine that went through just before it. So as soon as that Transpennine clears the main line to go to the airport, because it'll come off at Exton Junction, then that Pendolino will get the greens then. 2:05 a.m. Yeah, should be in bed. Sausage ears. Should be getting some Zs. 23:06. Have a couple of beers, Hozzy. Couple of beers. Bit of the old ambidector. G'day, sport. Sorry, I'm not 21 years old. Excellent. Nor am I. In fact, I would think there's quite a few people in the chat that aren't 21. You're 21, are you, Ozzy? You're 21. Well, I'm not. I'm 21 times 3, plus a bit of change. Add another 20 on top. And you're still only a youngster. You're still only a youngster, Ozzy, at 41. Still only a young pup. Back in the days, Pretend-a-lino is a thing in West Coast Main Line. Pretend-a-lino. Excellent. It's still a thing in the West Coast Main Line now. It's the only place they run. There ain't any more Pretend-a-linos anywhere. Not actually sure what a Pretend-a-lino is, but I think I know what you mean. Lots of planes in Sky today, just as a talking point. There's all the steam trains, or you don't get many steam trains. You do get them occasionally, but it tends to be on a Friday and a Saturday. Friday and a Saturday. Yeah, we get a lot of Pendolinos, that's for sure. But obviously, we will get a lot of Pendolinos because we're on the West Coast Main Line, and the company is called Avanti West Coast. And I'm going to have to put my engine on for a minute because it's freezing. Good, Bennett. Yeah, there'll be a steam train on Saturday somewhere. It tends to be on Saturdays, and oh, what's that beeping? Yeah, it tends to be on Saturdays, to the steam trains. You do get the odd one on a Wednesday as well. There might be something on a Wednesday, but they're all on heritage railways, obviously. There's West Coast Railways have them. The only ones you see up here are from either West Coast Railways or Locomotion Services or Vintage Trains. 3 companies operate. Like, there was a steamer the other day, I can't remember what it were. Can't remember what it were, there was one the other day. I'll have videoed it, but I can't remember what it were. See, when I put a short up, you see, I'm 2 months in advance. If I video a short video today, you won't see it until January. You know what I mean? I'm 2 months in front. If I video a short video, you won't see it on my channel till Wednesday. Because I'm scheduled all the way up until about the 8th of January now. Because somebody last night asked me that. I put one came on and it were, I can't remember what it were, but somebody asked me in the comments, where's this going to? And I had a clue, because obviously it's I'm 2 months in front. So I can't remember what it were 2 months back. If you were to take note of every train number and where it's going or where it's been, you'd be at it for hours and hours. But I am going to do a different video. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to travel one day very soon to a different station and actually be on the station, just for a change. I haven't decided which way to go though, whether to go south or go north. I can't make my mind up. I might go up to Carlisle or Glasgow, or I might go south down to a station that's on YouTube, and God, it's a wild station. I can't remember what it's called now. And you know, it's the trains hammer through it like at absolute breakneck. Hello, Sanger, how are we doing? How's it going? The trains come through it at absolute breakneck speed, and I can't remember the name of the station. And I thought, yeah, I'd like to go to that station. The problem is, I don't know if Avanti West Coast actually stop at it. You see, that's the problem. It's getting to the station. I'm not driving. It's just not worth spending all the fuel if I can get. Oh, I've been to Dent Station. I've been a few times. Dent. I nearly hired Dent Station as a holiday let. You can hire it as a holiday let, but there's just not enough activity there. That's what put me off. No, I'm not going to drive a train now. Been on phone all morning trying to contact council tax number. Bitter cold today, Sanger. It's lovely weather visually, but it's bitter, and I mean bitter cold. Contact you if you leave it long enough. Who does? Who contacts me? That's the way. Been here for a few days. Fresh and cold. Yeah, it's bitter cold. Quite chilly here in Melbourne. Oof. That's unusual for considering it's your springtime, nearly summertime. I thought to be quite saying that. What you call chilly, Aussie, it's probably mild to us because you're not used to cold weather. Class 43. Oh, I hated them. I hated them. I weren't very keen on the 52 Western either, but the 43s, I thought they were ugly. Not for me. Might be raining in Kuala Lumpur. Who's in Kuala Lumpur? Is that you, Virgin? Are you in Kuala Lumpur? That's somewhere I'd like to go. Is that Kuala Lumpur? I'd love to go there and watch the F1. It's a night race, isn't it? Even though I'm not as into F1 now as I used to be, because to me it's almost like robots driving cars now. It's the driver skill element is way down compared to what it used to be. You know what I mean? It's all computer controlled and I don't like it. I used to like it back in the day when they had to refuel and do everything, and everything were more driver focused. Petronese Towers. Hello Mustang, how are we doing? How's it going, Mustang? How are you feeling today? After your thing at the hospital the other day, are you on the mend? Are you feeling good now? That's cool, I'm glad to hear it. You're better, excellent. What train is to Kuala Lumpur? What have you had to eat today, Senga? Come on, spoilers. A square and a piece. I haven't had nothing. Same here, I haven't had nothing at all. Can't eat. When I eat something, I feel ill. Hello, the log. How's it going, the log? You're not a policeman, are you? You're not part of the special branch, are you? Certainly got me stumped. And there goes a Northern Class 195. Very similar looking train to its stablemate, the 331, but missing a pantograph. Blimey, school's out, loads of kids screaming here. That means we're going to get all village idiots in chat soon, aren't we? All the UK village idiots come to the chat when schools are finished. 20 an hour, log. 20 an hour. Between 16 and 20 an hour it is. I've been asked this question so many times I actually counted them on the timetable just to see. And it varies, but it's between 16 and 8 and 20 an hour. From 5 a.m. till sort of like 2 a.m. and then there's a quiet spell, well, quieter spell. But you get a lot more freight overnight. My niece loved the Polar Express. Yeah, what was that, Sanger? Was she obviously she was on a train, was she? Were it one of the film? What were it? Where did it go? If it was a train, that is. They had to drive to York. And then where did it go? Did she say? I take it she had a load of fancy food and everything on board. They usually are, them kind of things. A class 323, correct, it was. Blooming, I hate class 323. You know, she never said. I got one about, well, it's about 12 years ago. It cost me a fortune, all it did, from to Whitby. And it were Nigel Gresley, I think it were, that hauled it. And went up to Darlington and then to Whitby. And that were a fair trip. And they used to, the British trains, I used to be Haxby X. They've changed your name. That's a bad thing to do. You should never change your YouTube name because the algorithm drops you. Never change your YouTube name. But anyway, that's up to you. Hello, Romano Alasherry. How are we doing? Yeah, I went on one and it went from. I got on it at Hellifield, I did, but I could have got on at Blackburn and Preston. But I got on at Hellifield for some reason. And it went up to Darlington and then to Whitby. And it were, I think it went Nigel Gresley, I don't know. That were nice. Posh food on board and all that business. And here comes AirPods woman, lady. Fortunately, she's very well wrapped up with the weather. Is she going to give me a smile today? No. Hello, Victoria Ashworth, and how are you today? Smile, say, how are you? She didn't even look at me, so I couldn't even smile or anything. And she always walks past up wrong side of the car, so I can't really say anything. I've noticed though, Whippet woman talking to other people, but yeah, she never spoke to me. Possible that she doesn't like me. She thinks so. That's that Billy No mates. Oh, he won't be far away. Usually mention women in his ear. The British trains. I'm your loyal fan. Excellent. That's what we like. Loyalty. There goes the old Pendolino to London Euston. My hands are sore. I've been ripping letters all day. I've been researching eggnog. Eggnog, some kind of drink. Yes, it is. Yeah, you could probably perhaps make your own eggnog, Sanger. I know my mum, she made Baileys one Christmas, made her own Baileys, and everybody were ill. I'll never forget that. She used to, when we were all kids, she used to have a party on Christmas Eve, and all neighbours used to come in, and they used to put all records on record player. You know, them old record players. We used to stack LPs on top of each other, and they'd be dancing and singing and all that. And she made Baileys one year. She got it in for some reason. Hello, Travel Rants, how we doing? She decided to make her own Baileys, a big tub of Baileys, and everybody were ill on Christmas Day. I liked it, Sanger. I think it's really nice, that Advocar. I didn't have much of it. I only had a couple of little glasses because it's so thick. But I'm going to buy some lemonade on my way home and try a snowball because it's so that Advocar. It literally is about the same consistency as custard. But it's a really nice taste. I can't place the taste. I can't make up my mind actually what the taste is. It's really nice. But I'm going to try a bit of some lemonade with it. I'll get a bottle on my way home and I'll sample it on Jeanette's stream tonight to see if it goes down any better. But it's certainly nice. Get a lime square. See, I could imagine that a lime because I'm not a great lime fan. Hello, Josh Cannon. How we doing? You can drink it. Yeah, I bought a tin of beans on my way home yesterday. I don't know why. I just got the urge for beans and then I never had them. Yeah, I know lots of people who eat raw eggs. Not for me, I'm afraid, but I do know a lot of people who do raw eggs. Supposed to be good for you, but not for me. I've got a piece of fish at home. I'm going to eat that tonight with some beans. I think should have really got some mushy peas, but I don't know why. I just fancied some beans. I haven't had any beans this year. I don't think. I'm bean free, and I just thought I just fancy some beans. eating eggs and not raw eggs. It's a hard taste to describe. I mixed my steak with raw egg yolk. Hello, Yorkshire Railway Adventures. How are we doing? I like scrambled eggs, yeah, so do I. I like eggs full stop, but as long as they're always cooked, I can't do raw eggs. But I have an egg machine that cooks eggs, so you can choose just how you want your eggs. How do you like your eggs in the morning? Well, I like mine with a kiss. Another freight train due soon, I can tell you. I'm just trying to locate it on the diagrams. I'm just trying to locate it's the quarry train, so I'm presuming it's a DRS class 60, it usually is. I'm just trying to find it on the map. Oh, it's a while away yet, it's running behind. 60 or 85 Snowdon. GBRF class 60. Currently sat. It's looking like it's running late anyway. Oh, that much I can tell you. Should be here at 15:43. Well, there's no way it's going to make that. No way. Sent another one, Sanger. I will have a look in a minute. Bed. Variations on the eggnog recipes. You sound sleepy. I'm wide awake at the moment. It's too cold to be sleepy. Hello, how are we doing? Good morning, Badger. Well, good morning for you anyway. I'm in your future. I'm talking to you from the future. I can tell you it's bright and sunny here, but absolutely very, very cold. Some you heat the eggs and milk like custard, and others you just whisk everything together. Fancy getting some eggs actually on my way home. Just fancy an egg. And if egg goes with fish, you could have fish, beans, and egg. Is that going to work or not? I've got a piece of Young's Gastro something blah 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 fish. Hello, Natasha C. Welcome. Welcome, Natasha, all the way from Australia. It's got to be early in the morning for you. I reckon it's about 2:37 in the morning for you, Natasha. Am I right? Alpha WX Productions, how are we doing? Sorry, Alpha WX Productions, how are we doing? Yes, I'm correct. I thought it was. Look at all this posh drink getting spoken about in this chat. It's like I feel like I'm sat in an an AA meeting. All this alcohol talk. Josh Cannon, it's 9:37 a.m. in Winchester, Illinois. Excellent. Hello, the train guy. How are we doing? Don't forget, if you're new here, subscribe. If you're not new here, subscribe anyway. If you're already subscribed, that's good. If you double tap the screen, that's good. If you haven't double tapped the screen, that's not good. So double tap the screen. If you understood all that, you're better than me because I got lost as well. Can't tell you though, there is a train coming down the down fast line, which is the third track away from the camera, but I don't know what it is. It's IS head code of IS 60. That's all I can tell you. I love eggnog. We've been talking about eggnog for oh my god, getting my body ready for 3 a.m. starts. Oh god, that's early as that, Natasha. Who wants to shopping at that time of morning? Or do you have to go and sort it all out first or something? Very early. Very, very early. £28 a bottle. Oof. They want us to do most of the work before all the customers come in for the Christmas rush. Ah, I see. There you go. sure Badger knows how to make the old eggnog. You're going to have to do an eggnog live stream, Badger. Special Christmas eggnog live stream. And everybody will tune in. We'll all tune in to watch how you do it. There's an idea for you, Badger. Christmas eggnog special. And I can tell you now, there is a freight train coming up the fast line. Yeah, correct, Badger. An eggnog live stream, Christmas special sort of thing. Ready for the festive period. People will love that. How to make the old eggnog. So I'm going to be watching it for sure. Every time I watch your streams, Badger, I just end up lying there in bed and I'm starving. I watched it the other night. Oh God, it kills me, does this bedtime viewing. Here comes the freight train. I'm thinking about making a green eggs and ham this weekend. Ooh, what the hell's green eggs? That's a new one on me. As long as you don't get any, if it was daytime here, I would show you my garden. I grow some of my own vegetables and fruits. Excellent. Christmas pudding scones. Oh, I love Christmas puddings in it. God, Christmas pudding with custard. Love it. That's one thing I used to like about Christmas. My mum used to make her own mince pies, and God, I loved them because when she brought them out of the oven, you couldn't help but nick them. When they were still warm, they were heaven. At the moment, I have orange, mulberry, and mandarin tree, tomatoes, strawberries, potatoes, chocos, and herbs. I don't know what a choco is, but herbs, excellent. Even have chickens. Hellfire, Natasha. You're well covered there, you. Even have chickens. I know if there's ever going to be a nuclear thing goes on and all the world comes to an end, I'm going to Natasha's. Survival chances are greater. You got the old fruit and veg, and when that runs out, neck a chicken. Bit of protein. Christmas pudding scones. At least I'm getting my home delivery this week. She's sent me the menu. Chicken tikka balti, creamy chicken and mushroom pie, creamy Cajun chicken, beef chili, and spaghetti bolognese. Hello, Natty. How we doing? How's it going, Natty? So that's all good. Lately, I've been doing cuttings from my mulberry tree and been selling them for £15 each. Oh, fire! You're doing all right, Natasha. My chickens ain't for eating. There's actually two different kinds of chickens. Ones are for laying and they don't have much meat on them. They're good for laying eggs. Then you get meat chickens. They are for eating. All right. I'm not well up on this grow your own food thing, I'm afraid. The only thing I've ever grown on my own were Brussels sprouts, and they got ate by these white butterflies. All in one night, I was sick. I grew these three big Brussels sprouts plants, and they were full of Brussels. And I thought, tomorrow, I'm going to pick all them off. And when I got up in the morning, every single Brussels sprout had been attacked by these white moths. I couldn't believe it. All ruined. I was not happy. And since then, I've found out that you're supposed to put nets over them, but I didn't know. But you learn something new, don't you? But I've never grown any since. That's why I've got chickens. They eat any bugs that get in the garden. Excellent. Mum used to have a chicken on the street, plus fresh eggs. Oh, I bet they are. Hello, Russian person. How are we doing? Yeah, on my mum's street where she lived, there used to be a chicken that just wandered around all day, and nobody knew whose it were, and it were a big black chicken, jet black it were, and it were big, and all neighbours used to feed it, put food out for it, and it just wandered around every day. This chicken, and nobody knew whose it were, where it were from, or anything, and it were there for years, just wandering around aimlessly in everybody's garden, and it were big jet black chicken. And boy, was it well looked after, because everybody put food out for it. And then one day it just disappeared, so we can only presume it got run over by something. On the road, maybe, or something, I don't know. Hello, British trains. It looks very good, them scones, Jeanette, them Christmas pudding scones. My dream is to buy land and grow as much as I can and let families pick and buy what they want and let kids feed the chickens and experience the fun. Excellent. And make a few money and make a few quid in the process. Why not? That was a fast freight train. Yeah, it was. Forgot where it was going. That I did know, but I forgot. There's another one due, but it's got delayed, so I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's going to make it in time. Let's have a look, see if it's hit the diagram yet. No, it's not gonna. We're not gonna see it today because it's for some reason it's got delayed. It should have been at Blackburn at 15:31. Well, it's not at Blackburn yet, and it's now 10 to 4. So I don't know, but I don't think we're gonna see it in my time. I'm getting ready for a hometown Christmas for December the 6th on Saturday up here in Winchester, Illinois. December the 6th, is that a Saturday, December the 6th? Ah. I'm doing a live stream on the 7th of December, so that means the 7th must be a Sunday because there's a big thing goes on in my town. And I missed it last year. I saw it, but I never thought about it, to be honest with you. But this year I'm going to make sure I catch it. And it goes right past my front door, it does. Early December every year, so I'm going to catch it this year. Yep, I was thinking that, Jeanette. But I'm going to... hello, JCK Riz, how are we doing? Can't hear you well. Can't hear you well. Let's do a sound check. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can't hear you well. Can't hear you well. Oh, my sound's perfect. Can't hear you well. What goes past your house? Oh, it's the Young Farmers Christmas Run it is, and they do it it's usually end at first week in December, and they did it last year, and it's it's just miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Takes about half an hour to go past, and it's all tractors with Christmas lights all over them and stuff. And last year it was unbelievable, you know what I mean? And every year it gets bigger and bigger and longer, and it sets off from some place a few miles away and goes to some other place a few miles away, and it comes right past my front window. And last year I watched it, and it took forever. And all tractors are all there with all their lights on and stuff. Well, this year I will live stream that, because I'll be able to live stream it and be sat in the house in warmth. I'll put camera on, I'll stick camera on tripod outside, and I'll go back in the house in warmth. You know what I mean? And it's miles long. It takes it about half an hour to pass. All sorts of stuff, wagons, tractors, and all sorts of jazz. It's called the Young Farmers Christmas Rally or something, and they do it every year. It's quite a thing, it is. They did the Christmas lights on Saturday, but I didn't go to watch that. In fact, I got stuck in traffic because of it. But they're not much to look at, are the Christmas lights here? They're just a few bulbs dangling off lampposts and stuff. It's not very creative, I'm afraid. Everyone, what are you getting for Christmas? A doll and a drum and a kick up the bum. Hello, Harley, how are we doing? How's it going, Harley? Hello, Chris. How we doing? Yeah, I'm looking at that on the diagram now, Harley, the old quarry train, and it's still at Daisyfield yet. So I don't think I'll be getting that here today. Oh yeah, I've seen a house with all decorations on it and everything now. Crikey, we're only on what's today's date? 17th. 68085 Snowdon, it's called. But I think by the time it gets here, it'll be pitch black at the way it's shaping. Thought I would pop in and say hi and see real trains running. I'm heading off. Have a good day. Catch you later, Josh. Hello, Scoutster. How we doing? I haven't seen you for a day or two, Scoutster. Have you been busy? I thought, wonder where Scoutster is. He hasn't put a sick note in, so what's he up to? Hello, Anthony Barranca. How we doing? A bit cold out. It is a lot cold outside. Do you have sausage hoodies? I don't know what a sausage hoodie is. Pizza Day. 6 KO 5. Yeah, behind it. Yeah, I definitely won't be seeing that today. I don't think here. Everything bunged up. I'm going to do one off station this week, but I'm going to need a bobble out and some gloves, that's for sure. Couldn't do it tonight. I have a coat in my boot, but it'd be bloody cold. Forecast snow for Wednesday. All right. You need your body. Yeah, you're right. I need a flipping bobble out. That's what I need. I were thinking. I thought I want to just nip round on my way home and do an hour on station, but I thought, oh God, it's absolutely freezing. Tomorrow night actually snow. I will believe that when I see it. They do this every year, weather forecast. We're going to get an Arctic blast. We're going to get 10-foot drifts. The world's going to come to an end. And you get up and the sun's cracking flags. If you're not, I'll put this in simple format. If you are 24, 34, 44. If you're younger than 40, you don't know what snow is unless you've been abroad. You've never seen snow in the UK if you're younger than 40. Am I right, Jeanette? She'll back me up on that one. If you're younger than 40, you've not seen snow in the UK. Unless, you just ain't seen snow if you're younger than 40. And that's a fact. Correct. I can remember you used to open the door and snow a bit almost up to your neckline. Yeah, I knew somebody were going to say that. How we doing, Hazy? Yeah. Oh, what? How's it going? That breakfast looked excellent to me, actually. If I see what you mean about the soggy hash browns, but it looked very good. I was slathering watching it anyway. Hello, Leah. How we doing? Hello, Salvatore. 1958 Trappier. How we doing? Yeah. When I said it, in the back of my mind, I thought, God, I hope certain people aren't watching this. Lo and behold, as if by magic. Yeah, it looked all right. I was pretty impressed with that. Them sausages look great. put your wellies on, wrap up warm, and off you go to school. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah. We certainly don't get snow like we used to, that is for sure. Sausage 10 out of 10, it looked good, definitely. They looked like they were decent thick sausages and looked like they were cooked right and all. Problem with these breakfast places, some people like stuff well done, some people don't, so they try and go down the middle and just sort of go down the middle and just hopefully please a lot of people, you know. It's a tricky one. I mean, I like bacon well done, but not cremated. But I like it well done, but not crispy, but you know, done. And same with sausages. But it looked good, I must admit. And funny, everywhere you go, seem to always never seem to do hash browns for long enough. You want a bit of crunch just on outer skin, don't you, on an hash brown? But I haven't had any food like that for yonks, unfortunately. Well, it's approaching at 16:07. Is the screen going to cut out at 16:07 or is it going to go through? Just bugs me. I just do not know why it does it, but every nearly every day at 16:07, 7 minutes past 4, the network drops off just for a few seconds, but it's enough to knock the stream off. And don't know why it does it. Catch you later, Josh. Yeah. I mean, one thing about today, it will stay lighter a little bit longer because there's not a cloud in sight. But God, it's cold. It is a mystery. It does my head in. Catch you later, Josh. Hello, Debak Man 3. Have you been to Spud Bros food truck at the Flag Market? Oh, I've heard about it and I've seen the videos on it. That looks excellent, does that? But we do have a spud shed in my town, a shop that does spuds and stuff, all very similar stuff. Massive jacket potatoes with absolutely everything piled on it. It's called the Spud Shed, or the Spud Hut, something like that. Yeah, I probably will because it'll stay alive too long. There's a plane in flipping sky here, and it's literally doing a loop de loop. I don't, you can't see it on stream, but it's like almost doing a full circle, just in the upper left. But yeah, Spud Bros just opened here. Yeah, yeah, they look good. And it's something about jacket potatoes. When somebody else has made it, it always seems to taste better than the ones you make at home. Yeah. Well, are we going to make it through the 7th minute without it cutting out? This is the dollar question. This is what we want to know. Here we go. Get ready to be shut down. The golden minute. I hope it doesn't, because that means I have to get out in cold and press buttons. Here we go. 1607. And counting. Are we still there? If it buffers for anybody, type in chat. Then I know it's coming. It's usually at the tail, towards the tail end of the minute. Da da da. Are we still here yet? I've got my phone running and my iPad running, and it's still on both yet. If it just stays, if it goes through, it'd be good, because then I don't have to get out in cold. If it doesn't, because it's absolutely freezing, I'm going to have to put my heating on, whatever happens. Hello, Garvit Roland. How are we doing? Are we still here? Are we still here? We still got connection. Have we made it through the dead minute? I'm also good. Where are you from? I'm in the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom on the West Coast Main Line. A very cold United Kingdom, even though the weather is glorious to look at. It's flipping cold. There is a freight train due, but for some reason it's got held it up. It's got held up. So I don't know if we're going to get it today or not. I'll hang on as long as I can. We will. Beauty of today is with there being no clouds, it will stay lighter a bit longer. When it's cloudy, it goes dark 4:30. You can't see a damn thing. But yeah, it's 16:09 and we're still running. I don't even think it buffered or did anything, did it? Which is unusual. Did it go off yesterday? I can't remember. I can't remember. Did it? I think it did. Or did it go? Did it work yesterday? I can't remember. I think it went off, didn't it? Or did it not? No, it didn't. It stayed on, didn't it, yesterday? Because I remember, who is it saying, no stock market on a Sunday? Do you remember that? It stayed on yesterday. It was Saturday, but last time it went off at 16:07. Saturday. It didn't do it yesterday, because I remember what's it saying that the stock market, to its stock market on Sundays. Hello, Heather. How we doing? How's it going? Working on phone and TV, no problem. Excellent. That's what we like to hear. I bet it's chilly in Ireland, Heather, isn't it? Hello, Jeet, is it Sheet, is it Seed, or is it Jeet? Sajid, I'll go with that. How we doing? It will freeze the back. Excellent. Glad to hear it, Heather. Glad to hear it. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like here. It's, you know, when I get out of the car, it is absolutely, well, it's just very cold. It's really cold. This morning I went out to bin about 10:15, And I noticed everybody's roofs had frost on and everything this morning. That's the first frost I've seen this year. But it'll be nice and snug and warm when I get home. Certainly the cat won't be cold, that's for sure. But oh, excellent! That's good. That is always a big relief, that MOT time with cars, because it stresses me out. Does that? Because I just think, well, it doesn't stress me. I just think, God forbid, another dollar per money that needs spending, and it just does me head in. Well, like that yesterday, my tyre blowing out on motorway. That were 200 quid just up the Swanee like that, and that does me head in when it's a tyre, because you feel like you're getting nothing for your money, because it just goes on your car and then you forget about it for months. It feels like just dead money to me. That annoyed me. That's why when I marked my 7 to 10 day down to a 4 to 7 tyre went. But they're just they're bottomless pits of cars when it comes to money. They really are. God, there's a plane here and it's super low. Point my camera at that actually. Yeah, they swallow all cars do is swallow up your money. I always say if you can get away with your MOT and your insurance and stuff, if you can get away with £1,000 a year on expenses like that, you're doing all right. You've done all right. But anything else, you only need one thing to go, and it just upsets the apple cart. I mean, touch wood, I haven't had much go for anything serious go for a while, but must be due summer. What annoys me more than anything with car is if something bad were to break, I wish you'd do it while I were out so I couldn't get home, because then I'd have to get AA, and I have that garage cover, and they'll pay £1,000 towards garage bill. So if they recover me, I get my bill paid, or £1,000 towards it. But it never seems to happen. You know what I mean? Where I physically, you break down where you can't move. It's things go wrong, but you get home. You know what I mean? But that'd be ideal. It just never works that way. Because I've often thought about cancelling it, because I pay for it every month, and I've thought, but you can bet your life that the month I cancel it, something bad will happen and I'll break down. That is just sod's law, isn't it? I think if like engine blew, I was thinking to myself the other week, I thought if engine blows but I can get home, I could sort of somehow bugger it up a bit so it won't run, but go drive off somewhere and bugger it up so it won't run, then I need recovering. Then they have to take it to a garage and the AA will cover the bill, you know what I mean? So it's a bit crafty that way, you know. Yeah, it's true. With the minute you cancel it, it's like I pay a £5 a month for washing machine, whatever it is, washing machine parts, labour, and all that. business to that AO online, whatever they're called, and I've never had a problem. But I've said to myself, the minute I cancel it, bloody washing machine will pack up. You watch. It's just tempting fate, isn't it? What you're better off doing is just really is like putting a fiver in a pot every month, and if you don't break, fair dues. But then when that pot gets fuller and fuller, when your washing machine does need replacing, you've got the money there. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I don't know. It's just one of them things that I got when I bought the washing machine. Yeah, because washing machines do go wonky, and more often than not, you just buy a new one, don't you? But mine's a washer dryer, and if something went wrong with it, it'd be right kerfuffle. I mean, I only got a washer dryer because I live on my own. I think if you've got a family, they're no use. They're no use for a family because you can't dry enough. You can wash as much as a normal washing machine, but it won't dry. It'll wash 10 kilos, whatever it is, a full load, but it'll only dry 6. You know, but I always cram it full, and it dries them literally to 90%. They've just some bit. You just get an odd bit of dampness, but I just hang them back up, and they're bone dry when I need them. You know. You never know. It's best to have the safety net. Yeah, you're right. For sure. I'm amazed my mum hasn't been on phone today. Usually Monday. Oh, can you get me this? Can you get me that? I usually get that phone call. Can you order me this? Order me that. And I haven't done anything yet. Hello, Peter Cochler. How are we doing? Cochler? How's it going, Peter? Peter Cochler. Cochler. I'm trying to say your name correctly. I noticed the 2 dots on the O, so I think a Cochler. I'm gonna like throw the H around. Yes, it's okay, but it wouldn't suit correct. What's okay, Jeanette? Pardon me. Oh, washer dryer, yeah, of course, yeah. If you're doing a lot of washing, not work, a big family. If you're going through a lot of washing, it's not no good. It's perfect for me, just one person, but with a lot of washing, no good at all. You'd it wouldn't work for a big family washer dryer. Yeah, it does. Saves you on ironing as well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I didn't know on mine it's got a delayed stop on mine. I only found it the other day. So when it's drying, if you don't, because I've been putting it on and then it stops in early hours, because I always put it on before I go to bed if I'm going to do a wash. And it sometimes stops and I forget. I get up and I forget. Then an hour later I think, oh bloody hell, washer's full. It's emptying, so I go and empty it and everything's creased to bits because it's been sat in there, bone dry and creased to bits. But now it's got a thing on it, a delay, and I didn't know it had it. And you can delay the final bit of the process to when you're there, you know what I mean, and set it to do like a delayed stop so your stuff isn't creased. When's the next train for this line? Very soon. In fact, there's 3 due in the next 5 minutes. I'm just looking on the diagram now. I can see 3 different trains manoeuvring around. And like I say, there is a freight train due, but for some odd reason it's got held up. I don't know where the hell it is. So we ain't going to be seeing that, that's for sure. It's going to be dark before that reaches here. But there is three trains due. One's going to pass us any second. The train spotter, you ain't going to see one, not on my stream anyway. The next one's due after it's gone dark. It should have been here at 20 to 4 and it's held up, and I don't know why it's held up. It's in that it hasn't moved position. I can see it on diagram. It's at Daisy, somewhere between Clitheroe and Daisyfield Junction, and it's been stuck there for over an hour. So I don't know what the problem is there. I've no idea. But that would have been the next freight, and then as a result of that being stuck there, the next, there's usually a freight train at 20 to 4, and then there's usually one at 25 past 4. Well, the one that's due at 25 past is stuck behind the one that we're due at 22. So we've had it, unfortunately, and it's still there in the same position. It's not moved for some reason. So we've had us chips, I'm afraid, as they say on that one. It ain't coming, not in my time anyway. Yep, that's the one. Start the live streaming. Get yourself out there, as they say. Found something you might like. I love these little emails that Amazon send you. I found something you might like. Yeah, okay. No, we found a way here to spend your money. Having a knock-on effect, correct. It is. Musk on a rail fanning. How are we doing? I can just take out a train in the back. Any good? Tell it's cold, my knees are killing me, yeah. Are you next to a station? Yeah, I'm not far from a station. Yes. Out a mile away from a station, a mile and a half away from the station. I don't know, Jeanette. I don't know where she's gone. I don't know. I don't know. Hello, Toulouse. How are we doing? Hello, Lysimarco San Clement Sinestra. How we doing? How's it going? I'll see if I can get home tonight without blowing the tyre out. It won't be so bad tonight because the motorway will be packed with traffic, so you don't get up to much speed. There's just a little bit of there's a first mile, you get a 80 mile an hour and then it slows down. Yeah, she did. She'll be on phone talking to somebody or something to other. She'll be either on phone or in fridge. Was the tyre of the new ones you had? Correct, it was, yeah. It certainly was. Yep. That's why we're a little bit lucky, because they're what they call run flat tyres, so when they go down, you can still drive on them to a degree, even though this mine, I did destroy it quite a bit. But, you know, it's weird really, because my tyre pressure light's been coming on every now and then, and that's probably what it were. And I kept cancelling it and going walking around the car and looking, thinking, well, they look alright. So I'd cancel the light, and then it'd come on again 2 days later. And the problem is, with them being run flat tyres, when there's no air in them, they still look the same. You've no visual. You can't visually see if you're losing pressure, because they look the same when there's no air in them. They're run flats. So I just kept thinking, why am I getting this bloody light coming up? So I was cancelling it and resetting it, looking. I've no idea, Jeanette. No idea. But I'm wondering if it's been flat, had no air in it for a day or two, but because it's a run flat, you can't tell, you know. So I just have to keep my eye on my tyre pressure alarm. But so you do get, if weather changes and it goes cooler, you can that can make the tyre pressure alarm come on, because the heat or the cold gives different readings and stuff. So they say in hot weather or cold weather that can trigger your tyre alarm to light up. But there's a little reset button in between seats on the dashboard where you just press and hold it and it resets it. But because they're run flats, I looked and they look fine, but obviously one of them didn't have any air in, which is a bit of a bugger. It's just one of them things I'll never know. The problem is, you can't take a tyre back to a place, and say, I only bought this 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago, it cost me 300 quid, blah de blah de blah, and it's just exploding on motorway, because they'll just say, you must have run or something. You've just no proof, you've no argument. You know what I mean? You've just nothing you can do about it, because they'll just say you've probably run into something or run over something, or even a nail or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Now you can do. It's just bad luck. Expensive bad luck. But at least this tyre got put on is the same again, same make and everything, and it was a little bit cheaper, so prices have gone down slightly, you know. It only cost me just over a couple of hundred yesterday. Hello, Johnson Street. How we doing? Have you had a 4M63 through yet? No. 4M63 has got stuck somewhere. At least I think it has anyway, if we're on about the same thing. Just let me look at the diagram. Oh, we actually have got a freight train coming now, actually, but it's not 4M63, it's something else. It's 6C41. I don't know what that is. It could be something weird like a track machine. Oh, it's a light. Oh, it's not a light engine. It's a 70. I think it's the log train, and I think it's been diverted because of this other train that seems to have got lost somewhere. A 90s, 90 on it as far as crew basket. All right. got 6C41 coming, which is it's going to be a Freightliner class 70, I think, is this, I reckon. But it's approaching on the up fast line, which is the farthest track from the camera. I'm in the United Kingdom near Preston. Yeah, I think this is going to be a 70 with like ballast trucks or something on back. It came the other day, I think. If memory serves me rightly. It's like a new freight service, is this? It's only just appeared over the past few days. I think it's stopped at a signal for some reason, I don't know why. Oh, here it comes. I can see its headlights. Looks like about an hour. Oh, I won't be seeing them then. It'll be pitch black here in about 20 minutes, never mind an hour. Here comes the class 70. It turned out it was a cordless class 70. I weren't expecting that. I thought it was going to be a Freightliner. No, it's not called a freight train. It's called a freight train. Not a freight. Hello, Sanger. How are we doing? Yeah, we made it through the 1607 curse without a single buffer. The only buffers we got today were on the track. Yep, I think 6J84 has broken down for me. Hello, Daniel Rogers. How we doing? Held at Basford. Got ya. Where have you been, Sanger? Have you been on phone again? Let's put my heating on. I'm absolutely freezing. Yep, and they're making everybody bacon. Excellent. You've made everybody bacon, or you're about to make everybody bacon. What is it today about bacon? Everybody's eating bacon. Is it Danish bacon by any chance? I've made it. Excellent. Are you having bacon on a piece? Bacon on a piece. Butcher's bacon, right? Only the best at the Gracie table. Yep, we had it. Right. So I'm sat here in cold while you're shoveling bacon butts. Excellent. love it. Very good, thanks. Great timing today, seeing the freight train as soon as I come online. Yeah, there's been a couple today, but for some reason there's one that looks like it's broken down. Something's happened. Should have been here at 20 to 4 and it's still to the other side of Blackburn for some reason. It's not moved. I could see it on the diagram. It must be creating havoc with passenger trains because there's no passing point or anything, so I just don't know what's going on with that. I've no idea. Going to cook my spuds and veg and have chicken. Flipping heck, saying you just have bacon and you're having chicken as well? Good Lord, where do you put it all? Well, that's a little surprise. Class 37, light-headed on its own. That's not on the diagram. Light-headed, what am I saying? Light-headed, light engine. Got my chicken yesterday, no one was in. That's not even on the diagram, that. Oh, hang on, I'll tell how it is. It just sneaked up on me and I never noticed it. That's 0Z37. Let's have a look where that's off to. It says Rail Operations Group. That's come from Carstairs as that, and it's going to Derby RTC sidings. Well, I don't know what I'm having tonight. I know I can tell you what I've got in house. I've got a piece of fish. Somewhere in freezer I've got a bag of oven chips that have been there for yonks. And I've got some shredded wheat, and I've got some Weetabix, and that's it. And a tin of beans. So that's the implements. That is the ingredients I've got at my disposal tonight. Fish, chips, tin of beans, shredded wheat, Weetabix, and that's it. Just took another rib out. Couldn't breathe. About 30 minutes ago, kids are shouting at me to stop smoking. Yep, stop smoking. Correct. When you move into this house, Sanger, you're going to have a serious effort at trying to quit. Because you do have a very growly cough. Oh yeah, sweet potato oven chips are excellent. I've had them. Wife used to always make them, sweet potato oven chips, and they're really nice. I didn't realise how expensive they were because one year we built a snowman and I used a sweet potato for its nose and she played held it, wife. She says, where's my sweet potato gone? And it were a snowman's nose in front garden. Yep, like a coffee machine. Yeah. Yeah, I've run out of coffee pods. I need to order some more. Past couple of mornings I've had Nescafe just to get me going. In fact, I might order some when I've finished here because I've got something coming tomorrow off Amazon. I can't remember what it is. So I might order some coffee pods and see if they'll come at the same time. I've never drunk tea or coffee. I don't drink a right lot of tea and coffee, just odds and sods, but I do like a brew first thing in the morning. For some reason, I like a warm cup of coffee when I first get up. But I must admit, I tend to drink more, for the rest of the day, I tend to drink more cordial. You know what I mean? My gloves came yesterday. I like a cup of soup. Yeah. Oh, I love cup of soups. Them packet things, especially them with croutons in. I used to get a cup of soup and dunk bread in it. Me, it was lovely. Cup of soup and a piece, as well as Chris's boots, so he'll be happy. He'll be like Fred Astaire with them on. I've got Skechers on at the moment. You can't beat Skechers, they're so comfy. I used to have trainers on, but I thought I'll slip into some Skechers today. I'm the same thing. I always get Sainsbury's on because it's in them little bottles and it's quadruple strength, so you don't need as much. It lasts longer. Simoon, are the old trains better than the new ones? Built better? Probably not. No, the newer ones are definitely safer. No doubt about it. And his experience thing came this morning, so all set for it. And when's his birthday, Jeanette? Is it Saturday? Are you having a special birthday live stream for him? I'd do a special birthday live stream, but there'd be nobody there because everybody would be eating Christmas pudding and stuff. Hello, FNAF67, how are we doing? Well, I'm going to be knocking it on the head soon because it's getting dark. The sky is got a very orange glow to it when I look to the right. It's probably because the sun's gone down. Excellent, FNAF. It's something like me. Well, folks, I'm going to call it a do. It's a bit dark. And I'll catch you all later at 9 o'clock on Jeanette's stream. Are you a fan of high-speed Japanese trains? Yes, I am actually. I watch many videos about the Shinkansen. Many videos. Superb. So I'll catch you all later on tonight. Goodbye. We'll meet again. I don't know where, I don't know when. Thank you everybody for watching. Bye everyone. See you later Daniel, see you later Jeanette, see you later Samoon, FNAF, Senga, and anybody else that's here, William. I'm not going all the way down the list, I'll be here all night. Catch you all later, thanks for watching. Put the old iPad away until another day, switch the microphone off, so you'll get the noise from outside now. Catch you later, folks.